Recently, I came across this video by a YouTuber by the name of Controversial Shannon. And when I look at his bio, he says, "I am black men's worst enemy. I'm just a man who calls men out on their BS instead of blaming women like these Negroes with podcasts. I want all the smoke." So, shout out to the young brother. Check him out. He created a video called "Black Men Ruined the Black Community. It's Black Men's Fault." I'd like to respond to the video because I think it's pretty obvious that these talking points are, some of them are, I wouldn't say they're wrong, but the context and what the brother is talking about them, I would like to break it down into 3 points. And the first point he talks about, I'm going to play this clip and then we're going to come back.
And I'm going to say it like this. I don't understand, as a black man with black skin, every day I wake up, I see myself in the mirror. There is no way that I'm about to get on camera and talk bad about the women that I come from. Start saying they all masculine, they some they mean, they loudmouth, because a lot of them are not. But a lot of y'all learn from these trash heathens to be around, you know, to dog them out, to never be accountable for your actions. If you got money, have a lot of kids that you can never see, like Nick Cannon. I think that's amazing that y'all want to call women out or like blame women for everything in the community, but you have yet to take responsibility for the shit that you played in, black men, that we play.
So as you've heard him say, he has black skin. Because he has black skin, he could never talk down on black women in the community. And this is very similar to the argument about, you come from a black woman, therefore you cannot talk about a black woman. And again, I can understand, that sort of old school principle, like, let's stop blaming women for everything. But at the same time, he acts as if black men don't have the same black skin. I mean, you even heard what he said. Look, I have black skin. So he's pretty much saying that black women have black skin, so we can't talk about them. But black men who have the same skin tone as you, we can only talk about them, rather. Which I find that very interesting because, again, young brothers like him, and again, I'm not trying to disrespect the brother, because, obviously we do have faults in the black male community. I talk about them all the time. But you want to pretty much hold the men accountable at the same time by letting the women get off scot-free. And what happens is when you allow that to happen, then the women will never feel like they can be held to task. We're only holding black men to task. So now black women can do whatever they want. And so every time they do something that's their own fault, we would blame black men for that behavior. For an example, because he's saying black men are to blame for everything, right? And not black women, because you can't hold them accountable. I want to play this particular clip from the Phil Scott show. There is a woman that has 6 kids by, 8 kids by, I don't know how many men. Was it 2 different men, 3 different men? Let's play that clip.
So you got a woman that came up on Kendra G's show, and she has 8 kids, y'all. 8 kids. And she want one of your brothers to date her because she's looking for a good man for her 8 children. Let's review it.
So Shirley Ann, Georgia, Eastman, how old are you?
28.
You have any kids?
Yes, I do. I have 8.
How old are you?
28.
8 kids at 28 years old.
You have 8 kids that you gave birth to?
Yes, ma'am.
You gave birth to 8 kids?
Yes.
How old are these kids?
My oldest just turned 10. My daughter is 7. Then my next son, he's 6. Then I have a set of twins who will be 5 on the 29th of this month. And my second set of twins, they just turned 3 in November. Then I have a 1-year-old son.
A 1-year-old son?
Yes.
All by the same man?
6 of them are, and the other 2 have another dad.
What was
6 of the kids got the same daddy. 6 out of 8. Why couldn't you marry him? Why didn't you stay with that man? And after you had them 6 children, you still went out there and laid down.
So now, you've heard that, right? Here's what happens. Because that woman has black skin, she has 8 children, 6 by a guy, more kids by other people. Because she has black skin, we can't say that that's a bad situation for most black men. And if you talk about her, you can't discredit the fact that, hey, this is a lady that made some questionable choices. And a lot of men that are black are probably not going to be interested in that. But now, see, if you don't talk down to that, or if you don't, address it like, hey, as a black man that's doing very well, we're not going to be looking for women that probably have 8 kids. You will just continue to encourage that behavior. And we've seen that in Black America. It's getting worse. So when you keep encouraging that behavior and then black men still stay away from it, even if they're not talking about it, they're just not going to choose those black women. Then you'll be saying those black men are weak, those black men are childish, and all of that. In this next clip, he says, whose fault is it that black men sold dope in the community? He's trying to pretty much make a point that black men are to blame for a lot of the black community's issues. Let's play that particular clip.
Sold dope to their own communities, black men. I don't give a damn if the white people planted in the neighborhood. You got to take accountability because we didn't have to sell it. If somebody put shit on the plate, are you going to eat it? Yeah, we didn't have to do anything, right? Who let the black image be tainted with these move out the way? Your no driving ass. Who let the black image be taken over? Black men. Because you were supposed to be leaders, right? And protectors. That don't only mean protectors of yourself, but you got to protect your character, protect your character, protect your integrity, protect your image. Who let that shit be hijacked? Black men. Okay? Yes, sir. Well, let's talk about it. If the relationship fails, whose fault is it? Black men. It's the man's fault. At the end of the day, it's always the man's fault. When Adam and Eve ate the apple, right? Even though Eve gave Adam the apple, did God just say, oh, well, because she gave it to you, I'm not?
So guys, you hear the basis of his arguments. It was black men selling drugs in the community. It was black men doing a lot of this dysfunctional behavior. And again, let me just say this. He's right. A lot of black men were doing that. But now what he wants to do is absolve the fact that in those crack houses, you had black women also helping these black men. You had black women still reproducing and having sex with those particular men. All right. We had also the whole stereotype that if you were not a baller, then you couldn't get no play from a sister like me, right? That's just kind of what it was. So a lot of black men in the black community start selling drugs in order to have a better shot at dating sisters. It wasn't like sisters like, look, well, you know what, you black men are drug dealers, so now I don't want to date you. This is not what sisters were saying in the 80s and 90s. Like, no, you got the money, so I'm gonna be cool with you. And another thing that we don't want to talk about is we have a lot of single parents in Black America. And a lot of these young black men were growing up without a father. A lot of times, a father that she picked that was not going to be there or got killed or got locked up. So as a mother, did she put these black men in the best circumstances? A lot of the black men came up under those circumstances where your dad was a crackhead or was selling drugs or was a Crip or got killed. So, but it's not that woman's fault for, let's say, choosing that particular man. She don't have no ownership in situation. Sure. Yeah, black men as a whole, we got to be responsible for our issues. I get that. But now, at any level, was she responsible? Did she do anything? He's saying no. Like, it's all black men's fault. These relationships end, it's black men's fault. Really? And see, this is another thing that I want to talk about the active father thing. In the third clip I want to deal with, he talks about just that. All right, let's play that.
Adam and Eve ate the apple, right? Even though Eve gave Adam the apple, did God just say, oh, well, because she gave it to you, I'm not going to punish? No, he punished both of them because you knew better. Adam was supposed to be a leader. He knew better. All right? And he chose to listen to his wife over God. Point blank, period. All right? When a black man gonna hold themselves accountable to the things that we did in our community that got it fucked up. Y'all talking about black women ran black men out the household. I'm coming to find out. Well, I'm reading stuff. I don't know if it's true. But if it is, it's articles that say we were never present in the household anyway. What the is an active father? And how can you be truly active if you're not even in the same household? This seeing a child on weekend shit or every other day is not good enough. A child needs to see his father daily. Needs to be around a man daily. Stupid ass article talk, black men are the most active in their child's life. What the does that mean? You active every weekend? I'm gonna look into that statistic. I'm really gonna look at that statistic. That's why I'm glad I didn't have no children out of wedlock. Because I don't want my child to go through that. And I'm gonna call men on their bullshit. I don't want to, if I have a daughter, I don't want my daughter to grow up thinking that all black men are trash, but goddamn it, that's the way that we going. That's the way that it's looking like. How can y'all get on these platforms and talk shit about the skin that you come from? It make no sense. It's okay to call out a certain group of black women that's being loud and ratchet, but y'all be like most black women. If we gonna talk like that, then let's talk about black men. Most black men are trash. Can I say that too? Can I say that? Most black men are lazy. Can I say shit like that? Most black men do not care about marriage. Most black men don't care about their children. If we gonna talk in extremes, can I talk like that?
So he talks about, black men are active fathers or not active fathers. He read some information somewhere. He can't cite the sources. He's just, the guy is pretty much ranting at that particular point, right? But also what he's talking about is that black men speak to black women in extremes, which I can agree with. Typically, we don't typically say some black women. We typically say black women, right? And so he's saying, well, hey, if you want to say that all black women are whores or all black women are thoughts or all black women are terrible, can we say that all black men are lazy? No, I can agree to what he's talking about, because when we talk about black women, typically we do talk in extremes. The problem that he's having is when black women talk about black men, they also talk about black men in extremes too. That's the whole point. It's not just some black men when black women are retorting. It's no, black men are on the DL. Black men are lazy. Black men are not as educated. They're talking about, they're not saying some. They're when black women describe black men as a group, they're talking about all, even the ones that they have chosen for themselves. And even if you do have black men out there that are doing the right thing, they don't try to qualify or quantify those black men who are decent. They typically put them into a box. So now you have a problem with black men doing it to black women, which they do, but you don't have a problem with black women doing it to black men. And that's pretty much, a lot of hypocrisy is going on. We have too much one-sidedness. And again, I understand what the brother's trying to do, try to get across. Yeah, black men definitely can do more work as a group, getting better. Black men for sure. But what the brother's not dealing with is that black women have to be also accountable for their own mistakes also. And to just pretty much not say it's none of their fault. That's what they want to hear. The mistakes are still going to be made. The black community is still going to regress because both sides have to be accountable. It just can't be black men being accountable. Black women got to also be accountable. But guys, what are you thinking? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. It's another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all the subscribe to the bell. We're out.